Hi guys, welcome to Bath Fizz and Foam. It's Friday. Oh my god. Okay, welcome to Bath Fizz and Foam. My name is Robyn Smith. I am one of the owners of Bath Fizz and Foam. It's Friday, which means it's time for Face to Face Friday. My face, your face, we're connected with there. Okay, what's up guys? Okay, so today I am making, I have some Cupcake bath bomb bases that I made last night, and I used this mold from Inedible soaps, so I will make sure that I include a link to it. So I have these bases, and I'm gonna top them with piped Wonder Bar. You guys know, like, I don't know, my favorite way to use Wonder Bar is to pipe it. That's my favorite way to use it. Just because it's like so easy to work with. And Rose says, hi, Happy New Year's Eve, Happy New Year's Eve. So I wanted to do some really pretty pink, you know, kind of bougie cupcakes for New Year's Eve, because I just feel like that's appropriate. Plus, the good thing, I said this in the Bath Fizz and Foam help group last week, but the good thing about like pink, hearts, anything like that, is it carries over. Like, just because it's Valentine's Day, New Year's, whatever, that like carries over all year. So you can keep selling them all year and they will keep selling. So that's one of the things I love about it. Okay, so a while ago, like literally, I should probably go back and like search what make it was, because I can't remember, but I did a Make With Me Monday or a Face to Face Friday, and I used some Wonder Bar piping, and I was like, oh, I made way too much, I'm not going to use the rest of it. It was exactly, and I set this exact bag, and I was like, I'll wrap that up and like use it later, but I haven't. It's just been sitting on my shelf exactly like this for like weeks. I don't even know like when I used it. I can't remember. It smells like strawberry, so I can't remember what I used it for, and I don't have anything here in my workshop. So anyway, it's been sitting a minute. This is the thing that I love about Wonder Bar though, is like now we can use it to top these cupcakes. So I'm just gonna go like this. Okay, it's still pretty wet, honestly, because I had added rubbing alcohol to it to get it to piping consistency. So it's still pretty wet. Seems good. I'm gonna add a little bit extra, of some prepped mix in there, because I feel like it needs, I might need a little bit more for these cupcakes. Plus, I'm thinking we can do 3 colors. What do you guys think about that? 3 colors is the... I don't think we've ever done it live. I don't think I've ever done it on a live where I did like multiple colors. Usually on a live, I don't think I've done it. I know we did it for like our... we did like a blog post that showed 2 colors, but I don't think I've done it live. Y'all can correct me if you're wrong. If you can correct me if you're wrong. Y'all probably know though more like what I've done than I do. Like people will ask, sometimes my husband's like, people will ask like, hey, what do you use for this? And I'm like, I don't know. And then somebody will like answer the thing for me, and my husband's like, is that what you use? And I'm like, I don't know, probably. I don't know what I'm doing around here. Okay, so I have this mix, and okay, so I'm thinking like a white, a light pink, and a darker pink, or a white, a pink, and a purple. What do you guys think? Think about it. Let me know. Because we have time, like while I get this mixed up and ready to go, we have a little bit of time. And I'm gonna put this in. So I have old mix and I have master batch mix, and they're both in there together. This is the wet mix. I'm gonna mix it in together first before I take a look and see how much rubbing alcohol I need. So this is like one of the really cool things about Wonder Bar is you can always rebatch it. If I wanted to turn it into scoops or something I could press, I could always do that. And then I don't know if this will help us decide what colors we want, but I have some sprinkles I made just for this. I have like hearts. I have like little hearts. I have some white and some light pink, like kind of like, and then I have some darker colored pink squares. So I have kind of like 3 colors with that. And then I have some glitter. I like a whole bunch of glitter from the Good Glitter Company that we can look at and choose from. So I have like, there's a lot of pink going on, and I realize that. Okay, so if I was gonna use this, like, look at that. That's like basically pressing texture, or even scooping texture. Like, so easy, and I haven't had to add any extra rubbing alcohol to it. But I'm going to, I think I'm going to split it before I add the extra rubbing alcohol, because that way, you know, that way I'm not like losing rubbing alcohol between each batch. I just think that that's like the easiest way to do it. So, or yeah, let's do it like that. Okay, so I'm just gonna, yeah, we'll use a scale. I'm like debating. I'm like, do I use a scale? We'll use a scale because I don't want to like run out of one color. You know how that can happen. You like run out of one color. Oh, purple. Hey, Danielle, what's up, girl? So I've seen a lot of purple. I've seen white, purple, pink. Okay, I agree with that decision. I think let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, so let's weigh this, and then I'll split it into thirds. Oh, okay. It is not an even number. 700 divided by 3. 230. So this is 700 grams. So basically a full batch of Wonder Bar is like 800, I want to say. Something like that. So I don't know. I don't know if that's enough to split 3 ways though. Hold on. I gotta tear this. 233. Okay. You know what? Okay, so since it's such a small amount, I'm gonna go ahead and add the rubbing alcohol, because I'm afraid if I don't add it now, then like it's not gonna be like my beater won't reach down in there. You know what I'm talking about? I'm like, let me keep switching it and losing some on my glove every time. Literally. And actually, I think I'm gonna bring it up to 800 just so I have like a full batch, because that makes more sense to me. So I had 700, so I'm going to just add basically 100 more. Okay. And now I'll start adding rubbing alcohol to it. Sorry guys, you get to see me think through things sometimes. Dan says, hi, how are you? And it's the last day of 2021. I'm good. Had a good holiday break. I hope everybody else has had a good holiday break. We have had a lot of fun just like playing around with my kids. We got bikes for Christmas. We got Mario Party for the Switch, so we've all been playing Mario Party together. So we've been having lots of fun. So basically I'm just going to add rubbing alcohol until it looks like frosting. Like, so, and in the instructions for Wonder Bar, have I said that this is Wonder Bar? Yeah, I have, right? So this is Wonder Bar. In the instructions for it, we do give you like a range that you can use to get it to the different consistencies that we're looking for. But that range is not set in stone. So it's whatever you need for your situation. And so like right here, it does kind of look like frosting right? But if you can see that there's like holes in the mix and it kind of looks more like mashed potatoes than frosting, say it with me, mashed potatoes bad, frosting good. So we don't want mashed potatoes, we want frosting. So I'm just gonna keep adding, and then the longer you mix it, usually the better the texture gets. And I've also had, so sometimes people say that like no matter, like I usually have to add like 100 to 150 grams of rubbing alcohol to get it to piping texture. We've had people who are in drier climates say that they need to add like sometimes almost 200 grams, which is a lot. One of the tweaks that we've found, and that I'm still having some people test, is that if you're in a really dry climate and you're finding that you're having to add like a whole bunch of rubbing alcohol like that, you can actually switch the cocoa butter for a liquid oil, and that seems like it works really well for people who are in drier climates. So it's kind of an exciting little tweak that we found. We haven't added it to the recipe yet because I've only had like a couple people test it for me, so I need a few more people to test it. But yeah, that's just kind of an interesting thing. So if you're in a dry climate and you're finding that it's really, you just have to use so much rubbing alcohol to get it to that, especially the piping texture, go ahead and try it with switching the hard butter, the cocoa butter, for a liquid oil and see if that helps you. I think it might, just say. Okay, now I'm gonna split this. And nothing. Tabitha is wondering if the isopropyl alcohol's level makes a difference, and it does. So you want to use, I've used 91, I've used 95, and I've used 99 successfully. You can, I don't even want to say, if like you absolutely cannot find those, I've tested it with 70%, and it is almost impossible to work with. But I mean, if that is literally all you can find, I guess I cringe to even tell you that because it's so hard to work with. But if that is the only thing that you can find, then like okay. So we've also found that, oops, hold on, Claire, 840 divided by 3. We've also found that the type of liquid surfactant makes a difference. I've used a lot successfully, but there was like one particular brand I got from Amazon that was like terrible. I mean, it sent the mix from like 0 to 60 in like no time. So I definitely recommend like using a reputable supplier for that, not just Amazon. There are some things I get off of Amazon, like cream of tartar. I get that from Amazon because it's cheaper for me. But other than that, like especially for a liquid surfactant, you want to make sure that you're getting it from a reputable supplier. And then if you do get it from Amazon, make sure you read the reviews, because the one that was like janky that I got from Amazon, all the reviews said this is janky, and like not so many words, but they basically like affirmed that like, yeah, it's like watered down, or so there's something going on with it. It's not okay. It's not above board. Okay, so we have this. So I'm going to add this whole mix back in here, and I'm going to add some red 27 to this, and we're going to make it pink, and then we'll split it again, and we'll add some blue 1, and we'll make it purple. So we'll have all 3 colors. So I'm just going to add, I just want it to be like a pale pink. So I'm actually just going to add, I'm going to use a micro scoop, and let's add 1 microscoop, and then we'll see where it's at and see if we want to add a little bit more. I just want it to be kind of pale. You know what I'm saying? Samantha says, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Tabitha says that we mentioned her in our stories and she's fangirling over it. Yay! Yeah, guys, if you like tag us, I will try. It's like I'm not like the most amazing person when it comes to doing the things on the internet, but we will try to make sure that we like tag you guys, and we love seeing like when you guys are successful with our stuff. Okay, so look, 1 micro scoop of red 27, and we have this really pretty baby pink color. I'm gonna add just a tiny bit more of rubbing alcohol, just to make sure that it hasn't dried out too much while we added the color, and let it mix a little bit. So just a tiny bit. The stuff that's in here, because it's in the bag, it's not gonna dry out. So this one will be fine. So as we go and add the colors, like, it'll be fine, it won't dry out. Okay. So now I'm going to split this, and then we will have, I'm making a huge mess. Oh, you can't see my table. Thank God. You can, like, over here out of the camera frame, it's like questionable. You know, it's like, hello, what's going on over there? Messy. Oh, I was telling somebody, like, I was playing FIFA World Cup at one point, and I passed it to Messi, the player, the soccer player known as Messi. I passed it to him, and the computer told me I was messy. It was like, Messi, and I was like, you're messy. I was like seriously insulted for a second, and then somebody had to tell me like Messi is actually a soccer player. I figure since this is an international forum stage that you guys will probably get that more than, yeah, because I'm American and we don't really do a lot of soccer where I live. Okay, I'm just gonna stop talking. I'm not making myself sound amazing. Okay, so I'm gonna split that in half. So to make purple, whoops, hold on. Yeah, okay, I'm good. I'm just like doubting myself. To make purple, if I want it to be like a really like lavendery, like real purple, not like a violet, I'm gonna wanna have 2 parts of pink to 1 part of blue. So because this basically has half a microscoop of pink in it now, if I added a full microscoop of blue, it would be like more of a like an indigo violet kind of color. It wouldn't be quite as purple as I want it to be. So I'm actually going to add another microscoop of pink and then 1 microscoop of blue. It won't be like that perfect ratio, but it'll be close enough. It'll be fine. So I'm just going to put this back in here. And continue on with my mess. So yeah, and okay, I hope that everybody had a good New Year, and I hope that you are part of our Facebook help group, because if you're not, we need to see you there. We love seeing you guys. We do a live in there as well, which you probably know that, right? That's why you're here. You're here because of that group, right? Am I right? Yeah, probably right. Okay, so there's another microscoop of pink, and these are lakes. I could use dyes if I wanted to. I feel like they tend to morph a little bit too much. Plus, you're adding, you know, yeah, the rubbing alcohol. Dyes morph with rubbing alcohol, so they bleed, especially when they're wet. So like the piping is like wet, so it's gonna bleed. The lakes will bleed too a little bit, but like not as bad. And then let's see, just gonna add a little bit of this rubbing alcohol. It's really pretty. Can you guys see? It's really pretty. Yeah. I'm excited about that. Okay, I'm gonna scrape the sides because, you know, it's a little bit low as far as the level goes in my mixer. And I wanna make sure I'm mixing all the colors in, but look at that. Y'all, that purple is pretty. That's a pretty purple. That's a good purple. Oh my God. Okay. So yeah, so I'm scraping the sides, and look, I'm going to show you as I'm scraping the sides, that was all at the bottom. So I'm going to make sure that I'm scraping, especially when the levels are like this low, to make sure I'm getting all the colors mixed in. And then give it another twirl, and it's probably ready to go. And then I'll show you how I like to do multiple color piping. There's different ways to do it, obviously. I get so many of my ideas from just watching like cookie makers or bakers, cupcake people. So if you're looking for like inspiration, or you're like, hey, I don't know how to make this thing or pipe that thing, like, obviously I'm here for you. I'm doing as much as I can, but there's like a whole world of like cookies and bakery. Basically it's just like straight up food porn that you can look at and just like get all the ideas from as well. Okay, that's a great purple. This is going to be really pretty. What's cool is that this can go, obviously I'm like, oh, I'm celebrating New Year's with pretty bougie cupcakes, but you can also, I mean, this will go into Valentine's Day, obviously, but I feel like the pastels will also totally go into Easter. So there's kind of a lot of directions that you can go with this. So I like that. And you could use, so I'm using, the base I'm using is, like, I made a bath bomb that was shaped that way. But you could also use like those paper cups. You know what I'm talking about? Like those, they're like party cups or something. I think they're like bath bomb. They're not bath bomb. They're cupcake cups, but like, I don't know. They're really big for cupcakes. I wouldn't mind my cupcake with that, just saying. Just personally, I wouldn't do that. Okay. Now, let's do this next thing. Get out of the way, you go away, goodbye. Okay, so now we have these three colors, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut the tip off of each bag. I'm going to cut it like pretty high, because we're going to put this in a big piping tip, and so it's going to need to, you don't want it to be too like narrow or close. It'll be more difficult to work with if it is. Okay, and then I'm going to use a coupler this time, because if I have enough piping left over, I'm going to try some Russian tips. Probably not live. But I am going to try some, because I've never tried them with Wonder Bar. And I've had people ask, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm not into Russian tips, but if it'll make you believe in the power of Wonder Bar, I'll do it. Okay, I have two 1M tips too right now. One of them, these are both 1M tips. I just squeezed the ends of these in because I like the way that looks. But we're going to use this one, which is probably a Wilton. It doesn't say Wilton though, so maybe it's, I don't know. It's a 1M. We're going to go with that. Okay, that's not how you do that. Okay. I'm going to take the coupler. I'm going to put that on it right there. And then I'm going to slide all three of these bags into this main bag. And I'm going to kind of want to do it like all at the same time if possible. Okay, so see my white's not down there, so I'm going to have to like pull her up a little bit. Get in there, girl. Pink's not down there. Really good. Come on, purple. Move out of the way. Share. Okay. So they're all kind of in there at the same level. And as I squeeze, they will like kind of work their way down. So there we go. We have three colors now in the same bag. And I'm going to move this out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. Yay. So I made these last night. So they are very fresh. Normally before I pipe, I give it like a light spray with rubbing alcohol, but I don't want to do that because if I do that right now, they will probably activate just like a tiny bit. If I have to do it, I will, but I'm just gonna see if I can get it to pipe without doing that. And because it's so fresh, the bath bombs might actually, like tomorrow when I check on them, where it's touching the icing, it might actually react a little bit, which is fine. That just means it's gonna stick better. And then that's my story. Okay, so let's get this started. All right, now we have all 3 colors coming out. So I'm just gonna see if it'll stick without doing it. So I'm gonna start in the middle and I'm gonna kind of come around. Oh my God, so pretty. It's kind of sideways. Don't just ignore that, it's kind of sideways. Pretty, right? And then before I move on to the next one, I'm gonna go ahead and add some sprinkles because the frosting is gonna dry pretty quickly and the Wonder Bar gives me time to work with it so I don't have to worry about it drying too much. So I like to just add the sprinkles kind of right away when the piping's fresh. We're good. I don't need, yeah, we're good on that. Okay. I can't touch it. I can't get in there. Okay. Look how pretty. What? Yes. We can add glitter too. But we'll add glitter like at the end. It'll, maybe. Look, no, just kidding. We'll add glitter now. This one is the one I wanted to use. It's called Fairy Dust. This is the Good Glitter Company. These are biodegradable. When I ordered some samples and I made sure that I ordered all, I'm pretty sure I ordered all ones that are aluminum free. They have been like switching over to making more of them aluminum free. They did have like a few that had like a small bit of aluminum in them, but that's one of the reasons we actually decided to, we have an affiliate code that I'll post with it. But when we first looked into them, we were like, well, you know, some people have questions about like how green or how good this actually is. It's just sideways, okay. And that was one of the things that we noticed, like they actually made a change in their product because of customer concerns. And like, to me, that's a company that you can trust, okay? Like, I don't expect every company to be doing everything right all the time. What I do expect is that if, you know, people pull something to your attention and say like, hey, you're not doing, this is not labeled correctly, or this is not marked appropriately, that like then they take the necessary steps to like make that change and make positive changes. So because we saw that, we were willing to like partner with them and do like affiliate codes and stuff. So I will definitely leave a link for you guys if you would like to check them out and read about them. Yeah. Okay, these are like really pretty. This is definitely Valentine's Day though. Like, I can pretend that it's New Year's, but like, we all know the truth, right? We all see what's going on here, okay? So this pale pink on these bath bombs was, this is a half batch of the high humidity recipe, and I did 2 microscoops of red 27 and 2 microscoops of red 40, and then I have embeds packed inside of it so that I get color payout later, you know. But I wanted the outside to be really pale, so that's why I have the embed inside, so that I get that, you know, color pop later when it's like bright, when I want it. And people sometimes ask how to package these. You could package these in a cupcake container. I just shrink wrap the whole thing. I mean, I don't know. I just shrink wrap the whole thing. Like, once the Wonder Bar frosting is dry, it's fine. Like, you can shrink wrap the whole thing. It might smush it a tiny bit, but not like significantly. And then, let's see, what else can I tell you? Oh, how to use it, or how to tell customers how to use it. You just scrape off the frosting and then hold it under running water and it will create bubbles in the bath, and then the bath bomb is the base, obviously. So you do want to make sure that you're like educating customers, because you'll have people who would say like, I dropped the whole thing in the tub and the frosting didn't do anything. So it's like, yeah, you have, it's like regular liquid bubble bath from when we were young. It has to have like some kind of agitation under running water or something like that, you know. Can't just drop it in the tub, sadly. Okay. Oh, and the sprinkles are all cosmetic sprinkles from our recipe, our cosmetic sprinkles recipe, which I'll also leave a link to. So they are sugar-free, 100% cosmetic compliant. Like, you can control all the ingredients that are going into it, so you don't have to worry about putting sugar sprinkles on your bath bombs if that is a concern of yours. And the little hearts, I have like a little silicone mold that I got from Soaphistication. So I'll leave a link for that. I got a lot of links to leave today, guys. I got a lot of links to leave. I think I'm going to have just enough frosting, which is like super exciting. So I'm glad I added like little extra bit in there. Just going to add like a little heart or two, make sure everybody's got a little heart to them. And then the good glitter. And then two more. Nancy says I'm a genius. Why? I don't think I'm not a genius. I'm just a girl in love with color. Just a girl in love with color, trying to get y'all to love color too. And cupcakes. Danielle says this is dope. I love that. I love that that's like your signature word. Like, it makes me laugh and so happy like every time I say it. I'm like, yes, it is though, right? The all the sprinkles that were in here too, by the way, this was a double batch that I made. So like this whole thing was a double batch of sprinkles, and I just did like one of them white in a silicone matte mold, and then I added a little bit of pink, and then got that pale pink, right? That pale pink, and then I did that in a silicone mold, and then I did I added another little bit of pink, and then I did the rest of it in a thing. So this all is like just two batches of sprinkles, and the whole process took me probably like, I don't know, 15 minutes. Is like super short and easy to do. I left them on my crafting table and came back. Like, I literally made them last night, so I left them on my crafting table, came back in the morning, and they were good to use. If you're like having issues with them, you can try popping them in the freezer. They don't, sometimes I have to do that, sometimes I don't, but you know, if you're having issues with them, you can try popping them in the freezer. But oh my god, these are literally the most girly Valentine's Day gag me with a spoon items that have ever been made. And I don't really have much left over. Like, I have just a tiny bit left over. Definitely not enough to try a Russian piping tip. Alright, we'll try a Russian piping tip. Just one though, okay? Just so I have an excuse if it doesn't work out. Because I'm like, oh, I was at the end and I didn't have like a lot left. And excuses, you know, it's always good to cover your ass when you're like, oh, I need to have like an out or an excuse or whatever. When you're a parent, you're like, oh my god, this is the best part about having a child, is you're like, oh, I need to leave, the baby is crying, you know. So when you're doing lives, you're like, oh, I can't do that, this thing might not work. Okay, I mean, I don't know, are Russian piping tips supposed to look like that? Is it supposed to look like a little poo? Is it supposed to look like a little poo? Somebody answer me on that. It looks like a little tower of poo. Or like Jabba the Hutt. Like maybe a little miniature Jabba the Hutts. So, I don't know. Well, the jury's out on that. But look at these. Wow. Yeah, pay no attention to this. What? Whoa, pretty. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining our live today. I hope that you all have a fabulous, wonderful, amazing new year. Let's just do this. Nobody claim it to be their year. We're just doing it. Okay, we're just moving forward. Just going into 2022. Zippity doo dah. We're doing it. Okay. Not making any like claims on it. Have a wonderful evening time. Be safe. And I'll include links to everything. And as always, happy making. Bye.